and stuff like that, but I didn't know that we were all kings. All kings. Yeah, that's nuts. This book breaks it down.
Yeah, it shows you the coats of arms. For in order for so-called Negroes to be ruling, you got coats of arms. And it shows you the coats of arms of Negroes in there. Just have a flick through it. Have a flick through it.
Because I want to tell you this too now.
But come, that's your one. He flicks it to you.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I forgot about this. So basically now, going back to Roman Empire, ancient Roman Empire. Now what happened was basically around I think 192 AD, if I'm correct.
193.
193 AD.
Yeah.
You had a black man by the name of Septimius Severus.
Basilius Niger as well.
Yeah, what is it? What's his name?
Basilius Niger.
He was contemporary of him, yeah.
Yeah, so basically they were both black men. Because in ancient Rome, it wasn't about what color you was. It was about what lineage you came from. If you came from a royal line or a higher class line, then you was going to take order and become sort of a ruler or a prime minister or president if you came from that line. So what happened was this...
silly question, how do you prove it? What your lineage? How do you prove your lineage?
Huh?
How do you prove your lineage?
Well, they would prove, basically, based on their forefathers and so on and so forth. If let's say if your father was let's say your father was a banker, or your father was in a high position in that particular society, you would come after your father and stay in that same position. And this society is like this too. Okay, it's like how you have David, I don't mean to go off topic, but it's like David Cameron, for example, the prime ministers. They're not just regular people. Okay, in order for you to be a prime minister or president, you have to come from the royal line. Your forefathers have to go back to the government. You see, if you're not a part of that club, they're not really going to business with you, so to speak. But that's how it was in ancient Rome. Now in ancient Rome, okay, the so-called black man, because you have blacks all over the Rome. You know what I mean? Like they make you think that it was just white people in Rome. You had black people in Rome. You had all different nations of people in Rome. It's like how you have different nations of people in Rome. Okay? So being with the point now, my man Septimius Severus and Basilica Niger, his counterpart, right?
Yeah.
They both came in that position, okay, because of their background, so to speak. And they came so high in that position where they wind up killing the actual rulers that ruled Rome, which is the so-called Europeans. And they took over Rome around the 2nd century AD, okay? And around 100 years down the line, we started to pollute Europe, okay? Because it was known as the Holy Roman Empire at the time. So even when you had your boy, what's the guy's name?
So you're saying that the Europeans controlled Rome first?
Yeah, they were the ancient, they're the original Romans at the time. But we took over that, okay, like I said, 192 AD. And then basically we started going down around the 1700s around the time.
And wasn't it again the one that was war with Moses, the Pharaoh, who was a black man?
Yeah. Moses was black too. But when you deal with the Egyptian, that's a whole other story. I want to deal with Rome. I want to deal with this. I want to finish this point first. Because there's so much we can go into. It's not funny. Now, like I was saying before, now around 325 AD, you had the Nicene Council, which that was established by...
That's where they made the Jesus thing.
Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah, but I'm thinking of a guy that established it. I know his name. Constantine the Noble. He established the church, which he was a so-called Negro. Okay, a so-called black man. He's the one that established the Nicene Council. So from that point on, that's when we started to populate Europe, and basically, did what we had to do. And then you had the Moors years down the line. They came in effect because the Moors, the only thing that they were nothing but Israelites. Now the people that ruled Europe, they were Israelites. Now they were either from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. This is what
the Moors.
What's that?
Moors.
Yeah, the Moors, or the people that ruled Europe.
That's the reason why England always has the 3 lions.
Yeah.
On the, A lot of people don't realise that, especially Caucasians, because if they actually knew that, they definitely wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
I always like to bring this up.
England's not really a country where they are lions.
Exactly, yeah. Right. That's the Lion of Judah.
What I like to bring up, because this, and that came from Italy. We did that in Italy. That's where it started from, Italy and Spain and the areas. And And that's how we made this flag. And then when we came here,
What is that flag though? St. George's Cross, isn't it?
right.
Right.
And that's inside the book, the coat of arms.
Yeah, if you read down there, it talks about St. George, and Russia had the original images, but England wanted them.
Yeah, all of them.
You hear me? Russia had the original images of St. George, which is his flag. This is his flag, all right? And a lot of Caucasians have that tattooed on their body, all right? But
That exact thing there.
no, not that, because the Moors' heads are removed. You see what I'm saying? But this image, that's the original St. George, all right? And that came from Russia, and England wanted it, so they put that in the museums. I know it's here, but there's a little split between Russia and England, so Russia wanted the images back. You see what I'm saying? But obviously,
And that's why you have the Russian icons.
Yeah, down here is the fake ones. You see what I'm saying? Those are the ones they'll probably show you in the museum. But these are the real ones that Russia have. And Russia wanted those back. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of Caucasians,
Even though the bottom one's false, they still kind of kept the Afro hair.
yeah. So what Caucasian has Afro hair? It don't make no sense. You see what I'm saying? Like, for example, you know this fake royal family. But the Queen's hair, she's the only one in that whole frigging family that her hair stays up above her head. I don't know if I'm the only one who's noticed that. She's the only one. Everyone else's family hair slicks down, but her hair and her face is like really pale.
But you know though, if I may interject right now, you know the Queen of England and the Prince Charles and all that stuff. What happened was because, like I was telling you before, we came down on the power around what 17th century now. All right, around that time period. And what you had was because our people, you know, they got so comfortable in their position. So what happened was you had the so-called Europeans. What happened was they married into the black nobility. And basically, when that started to happen, you had more so-called Europeans, they began to come into that nobility and wind up taking it over at last because they married into those noble black men or women at the time. That's really how they really came out of power, but it was all prophesied in the scriptures that we would come out of power because guess what? That's the beast that will come back. What is the beast? The Roman Empire. That it speaks of in Revelation 24. So this beast, which is referred to the Roman Empire, this is the revival or the revived version of the Roman Empire, right? And it's only going to be used for a little season. And this is why, if you notice, the time that we're living in right now, this society is coming to an end. The economy is about to collapse, and basically everything's about this kingdom is about to be out, done away with, okay? Because this beast was only loose for a little season, which is this empire. So
good job. 14 and 5.
There was a point I wanted to make that I didn't make.
Here's an example, you know, in Germany, this is St. Maurice. This is the Magdeburg Cathedral. St. Maurice is one of us. So they still got statues like this in Europe.
Show the camera.
But when they took us out of Britain, most of the statues they took down totally. They defaced it, smashed it up.
Right.
Or repainted them again.
All the noses.
And that's the reason why a lot of West Indians, who are from the tribe of Benjamin, you have names like McPherson, McDougall, Mackenzie.
Yeah, a lot of Scottish.
Yeah,
my second name's Humble.
See, because you were the black Irish and Scottish. That's when slavery started. It started in Europe first.
Yeah, because the first black slaves, they'll tell you we all came from Africa, right? The first Negro slaves came from Spain.
Yeah, that's right.
It's in that book what you're holding. It's in that book that tells you about the first one.
How the hell did we get to Spain? Because we was ruling in Europe. We were ruling there.
What they enslaved us, they what, because black people living normally in Europe already. And they enslaved the black Europeans first.
It's like that. That's because we tried to reclaim. As we were falling, obviously Jake still wanted that back, didn't it? So we were trying to reclaim that. And that was the Jacobite Wars. Right? And that's some serious information I found. The Jacobite Wars was like, when a kingdom goes down, there's not like a break between the kingdoms, just like when we come back up. When Jacob takes hold of Esau's heel. It's going to be an immediate transfer. So that's the same thing that happened with us. It was an immediate transfer. We tried to reclaim that kingdom. I think it was the Stuarts, but that didn't happen. And obviously since that, they immediately exiled us and put us into slavery. And that was in the late
16th century.
Yeah, it was between the 14th up to after the Bible was so like up to like the 16s around there.
1700s.
Yeah, so it's an immediate thing. You see what I'm saying? So after that, obviously, as the brother was saying, the first slave ships left from Spain with us on there already, and they left from the Docklands, Liverpool, Manchester. There's one I keep forgetting, another one.
You're talking about the slave docks, right?
Yeah, and those are the ones that are in England. That's why the Docklands was one of the most popular bits in England, and Ireland as well. In Ireland, they were called floating coffins. That's because the conditions are so bad.
Well, I mean, that's some history. That's some history for you, man. And that's just the thing about it, because you know, we didn't just come out of power just like in an instant. You know, it took some time. You know, but you know, I mean, it had to happen because this society was prophesied to come in effect. That's why this system is in effect right now, because it tells you in the Bible that this empire or this world that we're living in shall come back.
You've got a precept there, 14 and 5.
This is Job chapter 14, verse 5.
Yeah.
Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee.
Yeah, so it says, seeing that his days are determined. Because who is this talking about? This is talking about the so-called white man. Okay, the Edomite, or the biblical, or Esau, or the biblical Edomites. Okay, go ahead.
Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Yeah, in other words, this society is already numbered. It's not going to go on for another couple of years or so.
Yeah.
Okay, because the bounds are already set. This system is already set. Okay, it was established to come back in effect. Matter of fact, get Revelation 24 someone. You hold that. Revelation 24. Because this society is the revival of the ancient Rome. Okay, and if you understand Rome and you study Rome, basically Rome is really no different from this system. Because even in ancient Rome, you had chariot racing, just like in this society, you have race car. Okay, you have car racing, Formula One and all that. Then some, and you had the gymnastics, which I believe, quote me if I'm wrong, I believe it's every 4 years, right? Yeah, every 4 years. Every 4 years they do the Olympics. That's what they was doing in Rome as well. Same thing. Okay, and there's other things too that I'm going to.
The census.
Yeah.
Every 7 years, they did that in Rome. In Rome, they had a Congress, they had a Senate.
Yeah, the Senate, yeah.
America has Congress and Senate.
Yeah.
Revelation chapter 20, verse 4.
Yeah.
And I saw the thrones, and they that sat upon them.
Yeah.
And judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus.
Go ahead.
And for the word of God.
Yeah.
And which had not worshipped the beast.
Okay, which is this society, this kingdom. Go ahead.
Neither his image, neither had received his mark.
Yeah, which is that RFID chip. Okay, because in ancient Rome, they didn't have the technology to make up that type of tech. They didn't have the knowledge to make that type of technology at the time. So this is talking about now. Okay, go ahead. They should not receive their mark.
Neither had received his mark.
Neither have they received their mark. That's what I should say. Go ahead.
Upon their foreheads or in their hands.
Yeah.
And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years.
Okay.
But rest of the dead live not again.
Yeah, which is the other nations.
Until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection.
Go ahead.
Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. Verse 7. And when the 1,000 years were expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
So that's the point. So it says, after the 1,000 years set, then Satan shall be loosed out of the prison and loose a little Caesar. Now, that's not talking about an actual man. That's talking about ancient Rome. Because, like I told you before, around the 2nd century AD, you had what's the guy's name? September Severus, which is a so-called black man. He came into power, right? Dominant, and then through approximate of time, started to basically come and dominate Europe, so to speak. And when you really check it out, how long he ruled Europe, it was around over 1,000 years. It was 1,000 and some years. Okay, which is basically the exact time that prophecy said he would rule. You see, so the devil would be bounded up in prison for 1,000 years, and then he'd be loose. Go ahead.
shall go out and deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth.
Yep.
Gog and Magog.
Yep.
To gather them to battle.
Yeah, so it says now, because when you read Revelations,
No.
So when you read Revelations 20, it kind of jumps around from
On the
different
camera.
points.
What do you want me to do?
But basically, you know, go ahead.
The number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
Yeah.
And they went up on the breadth of the earth from past the camp of all the saints about and the beloved city and fire.
You know, the point being is it's Gog and Magog, because basically what you're gonna have is you're gonna have the Russians in these times. They're gonna deal or go to war with America. Okay, they're gonna go to war with Iran, America, and all of its allies and stuff like that. So it says Gog and Magog. You know what I mean? Because it kind of jumps around to different points. But go ahead.
The fire came down
No
from God out of the
They're
heaven
taking pictures of them.
and devoured them. The devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire.
Yeah, so the devil that deceived him was cast into the lake of fire, because the Lord, okay, is going to set up the Third World War. And those ICBM nuclear missiles are going to shoot down and destroy this whole empire. This is why things are happening around the earth. This is why you have the Russians practicing their jet fighter planes. You know, they have their military prepared for war, and all of these other nations, because the thing that was prophesied is about to come in effect. So, you know, you have people that will come up and say, well, you're reading a book that's 2,000 years old, but what they don't understand is the book that's 2,000 years old. We're living in the time what this Bible is spoken. We're living in the time of the words of what was said in this book that's 2,000 years ago. You see? And that's just the thing about most people. Most people, their whole thing is, well, you know, you guys got to deal with the real world. You know, you guys are living under this illusionistic world, or you're mad. But what it is they're mad because they don't understand what that was going on. They think this society is just going to keep going on and on and on and on. They can get drunk, they can party, do the usual thing weekly, but what they don't realize is what most people can't really understand is why is the world is the way it is. Why is it that we have issues amongst other nations? Why is it that the British and Americans have issues with different races of people overseas? They can't understand that, but we understand why, because war has been prophesied to happen. Okay, in this 2,000-year-old book.
Ezekiel 38 chapter.
You see it? And so what you got? Hold that point. I'm gonna let this
Job, chapter 14, verse 5.
Yeah.
Seeing his days are determined,
Yeah, there you go.
the number of his months are with thee.
Yeah.
Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Yeah, so the so-called white man, or the elites of him, they cannot basically extend their rulership, man. They can't extend it because the Lord already set it up for him to come into power and to rule for a certain period of time. And then once that time is finished, then guess what? The kingdom of heaven is going to come in effect. Okay, and the kingdom of heaven is not going to be in some sky somewhere. It's going to be on earth. Because the kingdom of heaven is going to consist of the house of David, or the elect of the house of Israel, to dominate the planet again. And we're going to dominate the planet in righteousness. Because we're going to establish those laws. That's what's going to happen. And all these different nations and stuff like that, they're going to be our servants in these days. You know? Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 7.
You're done with that, right?
And I answered and said,
Okay,
what shall be? 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 7.
Yeah.
And then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
Yeah, this is what Ezra was asking the Lord, because the Lord was giving visions to Ezra the prophet.
It's like that. Genesis bit first.
Nah, we can do that. Go ahead.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows?
Read that verse again. I lost my shoulder.
Or when shall be the end of the first?
Before I start.
2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
Yeah.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
Yeah, so, and basically that's what Ezra is bringing that's what the Lord was sending. That's what the Lord was sending visions to Esdras about. Because Esdras was asking questions to the Lord. When is it going to be the ending of this world and the beginning of that which followeth? So the Lord is going to show him the secrets, the visions, and all that, as it tells you in Malachi 3 and 6. The Lord doeth nothing, but He revealeth the secrets unto the servants, the prophets. You see, so he just got a secret. Go ahead.
That's Amos, Amos.
Amos 3 and 6. I stand corrected.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
So we understand who Jacob is right now. Jacob is the sons of us, 12 tribes. And Esau is the father or the progenitor of the so-called Europeans. So when it says that Jacob took Esau's heel, it signified that Jacob, the ones of the sons of Jacob, is going to bring this man down. That's what that signified. Okay. And how is Esau going to be taken down, the so-called white man? He's going to be taken down by whom the world calls Jesus Christ. But his real name is YAHAWASHI, a so-called black man, out of Jacob. Go ahead.
For Esau is the end of the world.
So it says Esau is the ending of the world. Go ahead.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And we're almost at the end of Esau's world. So when this world comes to an abrupt end, and this is how it's going to come to an end, based on the Third World War, okay, nuclear annihilation, okay, when this is all said and done, we're going to come into power. You know what I mean? We're not always going to be in the position that we're at. This world is not going to continue as it is. It's going to be a transformation of rulership, man. Okay, we're going to be the next rulers, we're going to be the next governors, and we're going to govern the earth the way it's supposed to be governed. And we're going to use the universal laws out of the Bible. All right, that's how it's going to go, man. You know, this society is going to go out in the big bang. That's just the whole thing about it. What's your deal here? You know what, man? Listen, we doing something, man. You can come back later on.
Okay. We're busy. I'm someone else, right? That could be a bomb, man.
No.
The Lord ain't going to bring a bomb around his servants.
Just 2 minutes. Oh, just 1 minute. We'll get to it. What does he want to do?
Who knows?
Satan is always in the mix, you know? You know it, innit?
I know. Yeah, so, what you got?
This is Job chapter 15 verse 20. The wicked man travaileth with pain all his days,
right?
And the number of years is hidden to the oppressor.
There you go. The number of years is hidden to the oppressor, because who has been oppressing our people for the past 400 years? Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, now you have other nations that oppressed us.
Move that thing from us, man. He's walking off.
But this is talking about him. His days are numbered. His kingdom is numbered. So go ahead.
The guy's walked off, man, and left his shit there, look.
Yeah, frig him, man.
Job chapter 18 verse 4.
Yeah.
He teareth himself in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for
Move
me?
that shit over there somewhere.
Shall the
See
rock
that?
be removed out of his
That
place?
guy walked off. Put it over there.
Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine.
Yeah.
The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out of him.
Yeah.
The steps of his strength shall be straight, and his own counsel shall cast him down.
Yeah, and his own counsel shall cast him down. Because, in other words, you know what I mean? You have, because it also tells you in the scriptures that if Satan be divided against Satan, how can they house stand? So even amongst each other, they're going to cast each other down eventually. You know, this is why you have different so-called Europeans, you know, they rising up protesting against the so-called illuminated ones, or the Illuminati, or whatever you want to call them. So you see, so they're even going to be divided against each other in that day.
It's like that's true, you know, because what is it? With the tribes of Esau, the rest of the tribes don't even like the top tribe.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? With Amalek, you see what I'm saying? With Israel, the rest of the lower tribes, they love off the top tribe, Judah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But with Esau, that's how you can tell that Esau's the complete opposite.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. They're divided against themselves because their tribes don't even like each other. They barely get along. The only time they get along is when there's a a little race or whatever.
Yeah, that's when they'll come together. But after that, you know,
it's insane.
They are feud up one another, man. They get there. That's a good chapter right there. I like that.
So this the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down.
Yeah.
For he is cast into a net by his own feet.
Yeah, he is cast into a net by his own feet, metaphorically speaking, because, you know, these elites of the so-called Europeans or the so-called white man, you know, they want to establish a one-world system. Okay, and basically they want to get all the other nations riled up, you know, to cast each other down, or to cast themselves down, or what have you. And then basically they think they're gonna come back in effect in power and reestablish themselves. But the scriptures say when they shall dig into hell, that's when I shall pull thee up. Something like that. You got the scripture, right?
That's Amos 9:2.
It's Amos 9:2. Okay, get Amos 9:2. Because that's the net. Go, yeah, read that again, read that part again.
He is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare.
And he walketh upon a snare, because, you know, these bankers, these high-level bankers, okay, their whole thing is, well, you know, if we can get all these other nations riled up in this Third World War, or what have you, then basically we can kill everybody on the earth, this is what they plan on doing anyway. And then we can come back down on the earth and reestablish our new world order system. But what they don't realize is that, you know, this war is going to destroy their kingdom. They're going to destroy themselves. So they're going to get caught, you know, they're going to get caught on that snare by their foot. Their foot is going to get caught by that snare. You see?
Yeah, right. It's like even before that, the race wars, there's Edomites that know what's going on. And they're against their government, which is technically themselves, right? They still want that, even the openly racist ones, whatever you want to call them, all right? They're against the RFID chip and stuff, but then they're against the Israelite nations that are there.
Yeah.
So, but when these race rights kick off,
and they don't like the so-called Jew either.
right? But when the race wars kick off, they're going to be begging for their government.
Yeah.
So that's another one where they put in the snare by their own feet. Because in order for them to have that protection from their own government, they're going to have to take the RFID chip, which is going to destroy themselves. It's insane.
And that's going to be that snare.
They're dead anyway, but you know, whether they take it or not, their judgment's still the same. But they're still going to have the taste. You see what I'm saying? The Jake that's going to
put that down and walked off. I don't know what it is. Put that down. See that there? Put that down there and he just walked off. Some track walked off down there. So I don't know what that is over there.
He doesn't mean anything. He's already condemned.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, and that's true because the brother just said, you know, if Esau takes it, then ain't really going to make a difference, because it tells you in Hebrews 12 that the Lord they sanctioned Esau to get no blessing. Okay, so yeah, we done with that. Go ahead.
The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him.
Yeah, go ahead.
The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way.
And a trap laid for him in the way. And that's just that trap, man. That trap is talking about them getting that chip, you know, and all that, and then some. But really, that thermonuclear war. That's what they don't understand. Because these elites, they're gonna establish. They're gonna survive the nuclear war. Okay, only to be put in chains. You got Amos 9, yeah?
Amos chapter 9, verse 2. Though they dig into hell,
There you go.
then shall my hand take them.
Then shall my hand take them. So though they dig into hell, because what does the word hell mean? Now, is it talking about a place where you burn forever in hell? That myth? No, it's not talking about that. What the hell is talking about is the ground.
Catholic myth.
It's a Catholic myth. That's what it is. Gehenna, yeah. But really, what it's talking about is the ground, the underground. Now, what do they have underground? They have underground bunkers. Okay, so they figure, well, based on them going inside them bunkers, they can survive the nuclear war, which they will do. But they're going to be taken, okay, in chains, man. We're going to put these jokers in captivity where they belong.
Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them.
And the hand of the Lord that is going to take them is going to be us, because we're going to know we're going to know based on the spiritual power that we have, that we're going to have, we're gonna know where these devils are, man. Where they hiding at.
Go ahead, is any more now? Though they climb up to heaven, hence will I bring them down.
Though they climb into heaven, that's when I shall bring thee down. Because you have, you know, guys like, what's my man name? What's his name? That set up Virgin.
Richard Branson.
Richard Branson, you know, his whole thing is well, he wants to set up like a space station or set up a program where they can go to different planets and all that, which they can't do that anyway, because they have to go by that belt. That's what it's called, right? They have to bypass that belt, which is what, 6,000 plus.
Van Allen.
Huh?
The Van Allen belt.
The Van Allen belt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so which I believe in the midst of that belt, there's like 6,000 pounds.